Hey guys, Matthew here. So today I'll be bringing you the video that I told you guys about a week or two ago that I announced on my YouTube channel, which is basically going to change and make crafting and flipping is easier than it's ever been, straight up. So you'll want to go on poe.ninja, which is a website that I'm sure most PoE players know about at this point. It's an economy-based website, which you can see the price of all the different uniques and stuff like that. The different price of fragments, whatever. Pretty much anything in the game that's not a rare item is going to be listed here with its price. That being said, I'm not exactly sure when, but they added a build section. It's been a while though. But what we're interested in, and what basically changes everything in terms of flipping and crafting, and is going to make it as easier as it's ever been, is the streamer section. So if you guys have ever heard of the Mathil effect, the Mathil effect is basically whenever this player called Mathil, which is also a streamer, I'm sure you guys have heard of him. If you look at Twitch, Path of Exile streams at any time, he's pretty much the rank 1 streamer at all times. Mathil is a streamer. And he basically makes a ton of different builds every single league. And the Mathil effect is basically the fact that anytime he speaks about a build that he's going to make, or he makes a build, or he starts planning a build, the items for the said build skyrocket almost every single time. So you'll have items that are basically 1 chaos go up to 20 chaos. You'll have some 10 chaos items go up to like an exalt. You'll have some exalt items go up to 3, 4, 5, 10 exalts. So essentially, anything Mathil plays is going to increase in value a lot, especially if the build turns out well and turns out to be good. Now the thing is, as a PoE player, or just as an individual, you might not have time to catch up on every single streamer ever. Well, this new streamer section is going to allow you to basically have the updates on every single build that every single popular player is streaming at any moment in the league. So you'll never have to wonder, oh, I'm just going to head and look at 5 or 10 different streams of the bigger streamers, figure out what they're playing, and then craft those items or flip those items. Instead, you'll be able to simply go to the streamer section of the build section on poe.ninja and have all the information you could ever hope for at the click of a button. So, how this works essentially is that if I go to pathofexile.com, and you'll see that I have my profile name right now because I'm not streaming. If I was streaming, there would be a little Twitch icon that would show up right to my profile, next to my profile name, right? The thing is, nobody else can see that because I'm logged into my own account. But this same little Twitch icon actually shows up when it comes to the leaderboards of different things. So for example, if I go to the Delirium League and I go to other pages, if any of these guys are streaming, we should be able to see a little streaming icon next to their name. So I'm not really finding anybody right now. But that's essentially what would happen. Let's see if I can try to find something here. Maybe Labyrinth Ladders. Well, that's weird. But anyways, normally there would be a streaming little icon. Maybe nobody's streaming at this moment, which is also possible. But there would be a little streaming icon next to the account name when they're live. If they are not live and streaming at the very moment, that icon would not show up. But so long as they are live at the moment, the little icon would show up. Now what poe.ninja does is essentially it feeds on the ladder. The ladder only cares about the top 10 or 15% of the players, and that is based on the level of your character. So if you've ever had a character within the top 10 or 15% of the levels, you are actually accounted for in the build section of the poe.ninja website. The thing is, if you've ever also, at the same time that you've been in that ladder, also happen to be streaming, you are going to be in this streamer page. The way to prove this is that you can actually go to Delirium League under streamers, right? And you'll see that it's basically different. If you go to Delirium, it's going to show just all the highest level, right? Level 100s. But if you go to the streamer page, it's all of a sudden, it's not looking at only Delirium, it's looking at basically any league basically. If you're a streamer and you have been on the ladder of any of those leagues, you will be indexed in this page. So what this allows you to do is look at basically all the popular streamers, what build they're running, what unique items are using, what rare items are using, and then you can flip those unique items and craft those rare items. And typically, if a big streamer is playing any build, that build is going to blow up in popularity, and at least for the time that the streamer is playing it, or for at least for a little while, these items are going to be in higher demand than basically anything else, especially when you're looking at really big streamers. So, for example, if we took the example of Mathil, Mathil is probably at the very moment the biggest PoE streamer on the platform, at least on Twitch. There's nobody that pulls in more viewers and more consistently than Mathil, right? So Mathil's account is Mathil1, as you can see here, and this streamer section on the poe.ninja website allows you to see exactly what he's playing, the name of his character, which is called I Drink to Fill the Void, his ascendancy, when he was last online, so it seems like it was less than a day ago, and what he's playing. So it looks like he's playing a Bladestorm Val Ancestral Warchief. So a Bladestorm with a Val Ancestral Warchief for single target damage. Now if you press this little loop button here, or whatever you want to call this, you are able to see his exact character, despite the fact that this character, if we look at the item, the level of it is, I'm not sure where it says the level, but this character, I guess it was on the prior page, is probably nowhere near high enough level to actually hit the ladder, right? Because the only things that you would see if you were to go to Delirium League is level 100s. You probably wouldn't see anything below level 100, simply due to the fact that at this moment, 2 months into the league, all the people in the top 10 to 15% are level 99 or 100. You probably won't see anything below that. But this new feature allows you to see people's builds way before they actually hit the ladder in terms of levels, simply due to the fact that at some point in the league, they were streaming, and at some point in the league, they hit the ladder. So if I was to look for myself here, if I was to look at like Path of Math or something, I would not show up. The reason why I would not show up is because I was never on the ladder. I didn't level up until about 2 weeks ago, and my highest level in league right now, I believe, is 95 or 94 or something. So I, at any point in the league, was never part of the top 15 or 10 or 15% of the player base in terms of levels. Therefore, I'm not there. But anybody who has at some point has been streaming and also been part of the ladder will be there, despite the fact that if we look at Mathil's character, for example, it is level 93, which is nowhere near high level enough to actually be on the ladder. But since poe.ninja has basically tagged that account as a streamer account, and that at some point in the league it was on the top of the ladder, probably at the beginning of the league, right? They're indexing all his new characters, all his most recent characters, and such. So we could actually have a look at basically what Mathil is playing right now. He's using a Void Forge. He's using a Bladestorm Enchanted Rare Helmet with some life and some res. He's using, looks like some flat physical crit multi amulet with a bit of life and some int. Mark of the Elder. He's using a curse on an Assassin's Mark ring with just life and a little bit of res. He's using some gloves with life, res, and looks like double fist converted. 25% to cold, 25% to lightning. So it looks like he's playing basically a full conversion build Bladestorm, which we can actually hear. 80% of his damage is cold, while 20% is lightning, and his Val Ancestral Warchief is the same. You could look at the jewels he's running on his build. You could look at his actual build, the skill gems he's using. And at this point in the league, we're about 2 months in. So we are basically hitting the point where the league starts to really slow down for the last month of the league or so. So this feature would not be that useful anyways, because there's not that many people who are going to be remaking more and more characters. That being said, in the future leagues, especially in the first month or so, the meta and the flavor of the month is extremely important. And if you are like me and you don't spend an excessive amount of time looking at a bunch of different streamers just to know exactly what they're playing to be able to flip for them, and you rather just watch the people who you actually care to watch, then you can't keep up with all the different builds in the meta and so on when it comes to the flavor of the month builds. But this this streamer section on the poe.ninja allows you to do just that. So in the future league, in the coming league, and the coming leagues, be sure to take advantage of this feature because it is absolutely insane. I know for myself, I have never believed in watching a bunch of streamers just to be able to flip and craft what they're doing. Simply because I don't think it's worth the time. But now that it's available to me with just literally the click of one single button, it changes the game entirely. And it's going to make things so much easier going forward when it comes to figuring out what is flavor of the month without having to invest an excessive amount of time. So, pretty short video today. That's pretty much all I wanted to say about that. Before I leave, though, always want to say a huge shout out, huge thanks to my patrons, Gikona, KFish, Factious, Casticus, Jake, Minicel, MrCoffee, and James, as well obviously the people who do remain to wish the people who do wish to remain anonymous, and anybody else who has supported me in the past. Huge thanks to you guys. You guys basically make this possible. So again, be sure to take advantage of this this new feature on the poe.ninja website, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.